Good day, everyone. Welcome to Math Clinic. I'm your teacher, Miss Hanishi Amistad. In today's video, we're going to learn how to perform operations of rational numbers. But first, let us define what is a rational number. Any idea? In defining a rational number, it is best to know how did it began. To answer that, I will show you the tree of its history, and this is called real number system. A real number system evolved over time by expanding the notion of what we mean by the word number. At first, number meant something we could count, like how many sheep a farmer owns. These are called the numbers. Numbers can be classified in many ways. We start with a natural numbers. Natural numbers is also called a counting numbers or a set of counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc. Beside the natural number is the zero. It looks like this. Natural numbers and zero belongs to the class of whole numbers, and since it is a combination of both, so it looks like this. Beside a whole number is a negative integers. Negative integers look like this. As you can see, whole numbers are all positive. And that's why it can also be called positive integers. Whole numbers and negative integers belongs to the class of integers, and as well, it is a combination of both, so this look like this. Beside a integer is a fraction, and a fraction looks like this. It has a numerator and denominator, and denominator must not equal to 0. Integers and fraction belong to the class of irrational numbers, and there it is. Rational number already existed. Rational number looks like this, and it is a combination of all fraction, integers, negative integers, whole numbers, zero, and natural numbers. So I will read the definition of rational numbers. The root word of rational is ratio, so all rational numbers can be written as ratios. This set of numbers includes all integers, whole numbers, and natural numbers, as well as numbers that can be written as a fraction of two integers or a terminating or repeating decimal. While beside the irrational number is an irrational numbers, and it looks like this. So the meaning of irrational number are a set of numbers that cannot be written as fractions or decimals, that terminate or repeat. They must be written using special symbols, because if we tried to write a decimal equivalent, we would never be able to stop writing. The most commonly known irrational number is pi. All square roots of numbers that are not perfect square are irrational. And then irrational and rational belongs to the class of a real number. That is why real number system existed, because of this three. So again, real number is divided into two, which is the rational and irrational. Rational is divided into another two, which is a fraction and integers. And integers is divided into two, the negative integers and whole numbers. And then the last one, whole numbers, is divided into two, which is the zero and natural numbers. So since we're already done, let us define already the rational number. So a rational number is any number that can be represented as the ratio of two integers. So again, an integer is a whole number that can be a positive, negative, or zero. Let's take for an example. 1 can be represented as 1 over 1, negative 2 over negative 2, and 1000 over 1000. Negative 5 can be represented as negative 5 over 1 and 5 over negative 1. Third example is 0.73 can be represented as 73 over 100. And the last example is 0.333 can be represented as 1/3. The third example is an example of a terminating decimal, which means the decimal point or the decimal value has an end. While in the fourth or the last example, it is an example of non-terminating because the decimal point has no end. The 333 has no end, and that is the non-terminating and terminating. Another term for rational is any number that can be expressed as the quotient or fraction a over b, where a is the numerator, b is a denominator, and do not forget that b must not equal to 0. And that is our little review for the about rational number. And I think you're now ready to add, subtract, multiply, and divide rational numbers. So for any two rational numbers, a over b and c over d, we define first addition. A over b plus c over d is equals to ad plus bc over bd. B there is their common factor. In subtraction, a over b minus c over d is equal to ad minus bc over bd. Still the same with addition, but only the signs are different. For third multiplication, a over b times c over d is equal to ac over bd. So since in multiplication, um, the process is multiplying by the numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. And the last one is a over b divided by c over d is equal to a over b times d over c is equal to ad over bc. So c there c over d becomes d over c by the process of reciprocal, and then it proceeds to the operation of multiplication, and the same with the process the multiplication of numerator to numerator and denominator to denominator. Let's take for an example of addition and subtraction. So I have here steps in adding and subtracting rational numbers. So there are 3 steps in this one. Step 1, make sure the denominators are the same. Step 2, add or subtract the numerators. Put the answer over the same denominator. Step 3, simplify the rational number if needed. So step 1, 3 over 6 plus 1 over 12 is equal to 1. So again, step 1, since the denominator is different, find their common denominator. So what is their common denominator? 12. Very good. So it looks like that one. So 12 divided by 6 is 2 times the numerator of 3, which is 2 times 3, plus 12 divided by 12 is 1 times the numerator, which is also 1. It looks like that one. Step 2, add the numerator since they had already the same denominator. So it looks like that. So 2 times 3 is 6, and then 1 times 1 is 1. So it becomes 6 plus 1 over 12 is 7 over 12. Step 3, simplify the fraction. Since the answer was already simplified, so it has no need to simplify it. Another example is 7 over 8 minus 3/4 is equal to 1. So step 1, still find the common denominator. So their common denominator is 8. And 8 divided by 8 is 1 times 7 is 1 times 7. Minus 8 divided by 4 is 2 times 3 times negative 3 or times 3 is equal to step 2. So we have add the numerator. So 1 times 7 is 7, and then 2 times 3 is 6, or which we call negative 6. And 7 minus 6 is equal to 1 over the denominator, which is 8. And then in step 3, there's no need to simplify. So let's proceed to the another operation, which is multiplication. So steps in multiplying rational numbers. Step 1, multiply the both numerators. Step 2, multiply both the denominators. And step 3, simplify the fraction. So example 3, 5 over 3 times 6 over 7 is equal to what? So step 1, multiply both numerators. So we have 5 times 6 is equal to 30. Step 2, multiply both denominators. So 3 times 7 is equal to 21. And step 3, simplify. So we can still simplify 30 divided by 21. So we divide, excuse me, we divide 3 over 3. So 30 divided by 3 is equal to 10. 21 divided by 3 is equal to 7. And it becomes 10 over 7, or 1 and 3, 7. And the last operation is division. So still I have steps in dividing rational numbers. You have 3 steps. First is turn the second fraction, the one you want to divide by, upside down. This is called reciprocal. Step 2, multiply the first fraction by that reciprocal. Step 3, simplify. So example 4 given, have 7 over 3 divided by 1/3. It's equal to what? So step 1, turn the second fraction upside down. Just the process is reciprocal. So 1/3 becomes 3 over 1. And step 2, multiply the first fraction by that reciprocal. So we have 7 over 3 times 3 over 1. And then 7 times 3, and then in the denominator is 3 times 1. So 7 times 3 is 21, and then 3 times 1 is 3. So we can still simplify 21 over 3. So the final answer is 7. Since we simplify it by dividing the numerator denominator by 3. So 21 divided by 3 is 7. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. So is 7. And that is the different types of operation, or how to perform operations of rational numbers. I hope you learned from this video. Again, what are the 4 types of operation of rational numbers? We have the subtraction, addition and subtraction, multiplication, and division. And that would be all. I hope you learned from this video. Thank you for watching. See you.